Namaste. Welcome into Elevate. Sit down in your chair at the front of the seat. My name is Tara. Let's begin breathing slowly in and out through the nose as we turn our head side to side. So allowing our neck to warm up, we'll begin rolling the head across the front of the body and then just up. Full rotation now of the neck all the way around. And the other direction as well. A few shoulder rolls might feel good. And then loosening up the hands, fingers, and wrists. Open and closing the fingers. Leaving the fingers wide open. Begin rolling the wrists round and round. And the other direction as well. Excuse me. And looking to one side and the other. Exhale down. Inhale. And exhale, big twist this time. Bring the arm back. Look over that shoulder. Inhale as you bring the head forward. And let's untwist. It's an exhale over to the other side, turning the head now to look over the shoulder that's now at the back. Breathing in to look forward and untwist. Just going to take a breath in and up and exhale to the other side, or first side, second time. Inhale, exhale to that second side, second time. Inhale, arms up and folding over the legs, going where it's comfortable for you in seated chair. Fold. Place the hands on the knees, push through the feet and gently through the hands, coming up. Inhale, bringing the hands back, helps us arch. Hands all the way up and then forward folding, exhaling again. Hands to the legs, inhale to come up. Hands pull back, we look up and arch. Beautiful. We're going to come into a chair balance here, lifting one leg. When the feet are on the floor, we do press through the ball mounts of the feet. Just draw that knee in close in. Let your elbows flare out as you draw that knee in. Rotate here at the ankle. Still gently holding the leg. Rotate other direction. Of course, when you can remember to take breath in through the nose, out through the nose, proceed, and seated chair balance on the other side. Bringing that leg in close and letting the elbows flare out. Ball mounts of the feet, I will talk about quickly here. If you were to look at the bottom of your foot, behind the toes, there's a fleshy part of the foot. You want to root down there, especially behind the big toe and little toe. And then the heel creates the third ball mount back there. And it is that ball mount that you want to be pushing through, as well as the two in the front, to create a nice triangle of energy. All right, back to lifting that leg again, and just point and flex now, point and flex. Rotating now from the hip socket, and I move up the center body and out. And that's better for the bones than taking the leg in the other direction. So we move up the midline and out. Point, flex, point, flex. Take a breath in. Then we'll hinge forward. Bringing the hands to the chair here, looking down at our knee, breathing. You can stay here or bring your hands to the leg. And yes, that opposite foot is active through those ball mounts that I was talking about. Inhale, coming up. Second leg we'll hold. The second, we'll hold this just a little bit longer than we did the second one on that first side. I forgot the rotations here, but feel free to do the rotations. Point and flex, point and flex. Bring the leg down. Big breath in. And hinging forward. Hinging meaning I'm moving from where the femur bone there connects into the pelvis, not from the rib cage, but down at the bottom of the pelvis where that femur bone connects in, right? If you bring the hands forward, take hand across from hand and being balanced from the hands up to the shoulders. Return the hands to the chair and inhale. Place that foot back down. Take a breath. Let's stand. Going to move the chair over to the side. To move the chair properly, come to the back, square oneself, bend into the knee slightly. Be fairly squared off as you drop that chair down. Coming into a cobra here. After we take a breath, yep, cobra, here we go. You can stay here with the hands at the chair, or if you want, taking one or both arms up. Standing cobra. Hands back to the chair and folding here. Pull back slightly through the hips. It's kind of like a downward dog. I want to call it a chair dog. You pull back through the hips. Hands are forward. Even though they touch the chair, it's kind of a gentle push down, but not too much, right? And then inhale, coming forward. And using that chair if you want. Arching that spine in cobra. If you want to touch the chair, doing a forward fold. Doesn't work well for me. I need to bend into my arms. I can't here. If I place them on the back, I can go into a deeper chair dog. Of course, you can also put them back there on the top, or you can take them down to the bottom rung as well. Inhale, bending in the knees, walking forward, and then another cobra. Mountain pose Tadasana, taking a breath or two. Practicing in and out through the nose. Parvastanasana, or pyramid pose. Take one foot back and opposite arm in the sky if you want. If you're comfortable, you can take that second arm up as well. The ball mounts of the feet are still active here, very active when we stand. Work on practicing both feet, working into the earth through those ball mounts I talked about as we hinge forward. Also practicing the breath in and out through the nose. Inhale to come up, and let's switch our legs. Once we're up, we do try to square hip across from hip, even though one leg is more forward than the other leg is back. Try and work on squaring the hips and then the shoulders over those hips. One arm up. And if you feel stable, you can take that second arm up. Breath through the nose, in and out. Hands back to the chair. Hinging. Hinging again, we are again folding from where the femur bone connects into the pelvis, just like I was talking about when we were seated. We're not moving from the rib cage here. It's from femur bone to pelvis, hinging like a door, pulling back through the hips and slightly forward through the heart and head. Inhale, coming up. From pyramid pose into warrior pose, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Taking my legs a little wider this time, still like a train tracks, but wider. We'll bend into the front knee as well, trying to track that knee directly over the foot. Taking the opposite arm up and looking forward here. If you're comfortable, you can take the second arm up, breathing. If you feel like it, even the gaze coming up, your drishti point, steady gaze. Beautiful. Let's try that second side. Leg coming back, walking it back until it feels right. As you bend into the front knee, it's more invasive. Once that knee is bent and charged over the front leg, reaching down through both feet, through the ball mounts, toes stretch. Find your breath. Lift that arm, opposite arm is leg. Maybe second arm coming up if you're comfortable. Breath should be full here. Diaphragm completely open, both lungs open. Nice. We'll come back to these, try them for a second time, but first I'm doing a balancing tree on both legs. I'm going to start with the leg furthest from the chair. It's easier to come onto the toes and rotate that knee out, allowing the hip joint to open. Let's keep the foot low down. It's actually harder to balance with the foot closer to the ankle than when it's above the knee. When it's further away from our pelvis is our center of gravity, so the closer you bring the foot, the easier balance becomes. So it's a challenge having the foot down by the ankle. Picking up the chair and moving it to the other side. Try tree pose here. Taking the leg that's furthest away from the chair and coming into that tree as we open the hip socket by rotating the foot. Allowing the toes to stretch on the foot that's on the earth. Ball mounts active. Relax the knee slightly. Relax that knee. Let it float forward. Excellent. And down. Okay, we will now go back to working with Parsvatanasana. I'm having a hard time with that today. And also Virabhadrasana. So we'll flow. We'll work them more like a flow, moving into from one to the other. Pyramid pose here. Hands at the chair or both arms up or one. Exhale into your folded pyramid. Both knees relax, and maybe the muscle above the knee, the quadricep, might tighten. Beautiful. We'll just step back a little bit here and bend into the front knee, moving right from pyramid into warrior one. Inhale, both arms up. Breathing through the nose, charging the foot right, or the knee right over the foot. Nice, and let's try that on the second leg. Now, flowing, we could say we're actually flowing here from one pose to the other, squaring off as much as we can here in our pyramid pose. Find the breath. Start at the feet and work your way up. Nice, folding forward. inhale as we place the hands to the chair to rise up. One more breath. There we go. And into warrior. Walking out a little bit. Bending deep into that front knee. Right over the foot. Both feet, ball mounts active. Gaze forward. If the second arm comes up, you can begin to lift the gaze. If it's comfortable for you. Nice. Being able to do both those poses twice, and now we'll do the tree pose for a second time. Twice is nice, right? Second time, the body is more understanding, more willing to go there. So finding the ball mounts of the feet, relax the knee, allow the knee to float forward, not push it back, but float it forward, and then maybe tightening the quad, the muscle above the knee. It will only tighten if you can relax the knee. If you relax the knee, you also relax your lower back. Okay, picking up the chair, and we will do a tree pose from the other side as well. Second tree pose. Of course, you could turn around. You don't have to do as much moving of the chair. My setup's pretty basic, so this is what you get. That second tree. Done it on both sides. Done with our standing postures, yes. Okay, going to sit down now. Remember, sitting at the front. We've been working on strides. We will do one straddle pose seated here. Taking our legs nice and wide. And we will just open, moving side to side with the torso. All right, hands to the knee. What we're going to do is just bring our elbow to the knee area. Hand can stay same height as the elbow at the knee. Other hand coming to the chair. This opens up the side of our body, as well as our thigh work with our legs. Arm comes up by the head, does create more of a stretch. But you could just keep that hand at the chair. Onto that second side now. And at the chair, or bringing it up by the ear. Breath through the nose. Beautiful. And locking in. Just going to do some full body twists here. I call these mermaid twists, and shuffle. Oh no, I'm sorry. We're not going to. We've got our. Well, we will do those in a minute. We've got our pigeons. So ankle over ankle, and my hand is just barely. It's on my thigh, not my knee. Upper leg, just helping to open that hip socket very gently. You could keep your foot there, or if you want more of a challenge, taking that foot up to the other knee. Watch that the ankle stays at 90 degrees. If it skews from 90 degrees, take it back down where you were until the foot can rest up there comfortably. And then hands to the leg if you want, folding over your leg. Folded pigeon here. Inhale to come up. We're trying to let that leg move as much on its own as it can. Taking a breath before moving on. Second foot, ankle to ankle, and the hand above the knee at the thigh. gently allowing the hip socket to open. Remember, you can stay here and not put your foot on the knee and still do all the stuff that we do when the foot's on the knee. So this would be the full seated pigeon. Some people might call it a half of a burning log. Might hear several other names as well. Not quite lotus, as lotus would pull back to your hip instead of staying at your knee. Okay, folding forward here in this pigeon, taking breaths. And you can fold forward, yes, if you have the foot at the ankle, you can still try. Same idea. Inhale up. Beautiful. Okay, finally, the mermaid. So notice how I'm going to shuffle all the way to the edge of the chair and the side. I turn to the top of my toes, where my toenails rest on the floor, and then twist my body. Use that chair to bring me all the way into that twist. Over to the other side. The whole body twist from the toes. Breathing here. Feel free to do these twists twice. But I'm just going to myself do them once and then do a big stretch here, getting ready for our final pose of class. Corpse pose or chair corpse pose, Savasana. You're going to lean back and relax sitting in your chair. If you're comfortable with getting down on the mat and resting on the mat, feel free to do that. I'm going to be on the mat and I'm going to use the chair to place my legs on. I do like that position as it allows extra relaxation for my back. Thank you so much for coming here today. I do look forward to seeing you at my next video. Like, subscribe, or share. Namaste.